Hello, hello. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Oh, is my thing doing everything right? It is. Oh, everything's loud. Everything's loud. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you are good. Hey, Chrissy, how you doing? Happy. Well, what day is it today? Tuesday? It's Tuesday, right? Yeah. Always forget. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. Oh, stretch at the beginning of the stream. There's an energetic start to the stream for you right there. So yeah, we're going to be doing some more PZ today. Hope everyone's good. Episode came out on Friday, which has gone pretty well. I know it is. What day is it today? I think that's every day of the lockdown is like that. And I have to say, I looked at myself in the camera a minute ago and was like, my lockdown is getting a bit out of control. So I don't know about where you are, but in the UK at the moment, all of the barbers are closed. Oh, my game just crashed. Wonderful. Yeah, all the barbers are closed, so my lockdown locks are getting a bit crazy. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Wes. How you doing? I hope that's not a thing. My game just crashed, but hopefully it will sort itself out. So yeah, I'm like my hair. I'm gonna have to get the clippers out. The trouble is that the longer my hair gets, the more obvious how old it is that I am, because this bit I have like these two little bits of grey. I think they're distinct. I think they make me look distinguished. Scruffy urchin. I know I do get a bit scruffy, yes, Chrissy was first in. But yeah, like I get these two little badger bits, and then my badger markings. Yeah, but it's in need. I'm gonna have to get the clippers out, I think, and just do it myself. So on Thursday stream, if I'm wearing a hat, it's gone wrong. I'm either going to be wearing a hat or I'm going to look like. Do you remember the haircut that Jim Carrey's character had out of Dumb and Dumber? It was just like a bowl. It might just be that. It might just go something like that. Do. Beat you to the party today. Yes, you did. Right, so I have to say, quite excitingly for me, I'm quite relieved that this has happened, but I have kind of rediscovered my groove. Just turning my music down. Babina doesn't want to do her job. Babina is busy in the chat at the moment, doing her Nightbot job. But yeah, so I have rediscovered my groove for the game, which was kind of cool, which is kind of nice because I've been like, let's go little toves, go little toves. We've got the damn keyboard on again. Why does it keep doing that? Hold on, that's not what we want. We want that off. I've just done that on screen, haven't I? Never mind. Is that the game? Where's the game gone? Wasn't the game just there? Do. Hold on a second. So yeah, pretty cool because I've sort of like rediscovered my love of the game a bit. Which I'm not going to lie, it's been a bit of a struggle. Been a bit of a struggle, and it's not the sort of game you can play passively. Well, it isn't for me. I can't play this game very passively. So yeah, we've done some new stuff. I'll show you the new stuff. Even since Friday, I've done some new stuff, which is pretty cool because I'm like kicking along for another episode to be ready. I think there was some stuff that you guys hadn't seen. I know if you're in the stream and you're watching the video on YouTube, it's pretty much the same thing, right? So I appreciate it that it's a bit of an overlap. But obviously kind of having it all condensed down. And I think there was some new stuff. You're off the game at the moment as well. Want to play, get on, and I'm like, now what? Yeah, it does. That does happen, doesn't it? That totally does happen. Especially if you've got something new. If you're starting something new, the pain of getting over a new, like getting into a new thing, is proper real. I feel like I'm now kind of past that initial hump with this. So let me show you the new stuff. We've got. I did some detailing on these signs. So this one is now saying 500-foot dive depth. So this is about how deep they dive. And I did some of the little detailing here. I put all this. You'll have to let me know what you think about this. Hopefully you can kind of see that. This kind of wavy effect. I did this on the floor down here. I thought it kind of works. I think it's kind of cool looking. I think it is going to be a zoo, Wes. Yeah, I think it is going to be a zoo. I feel like I'm already kind of into it enough that I'm like, I should just carry on. I should just crack on with this. So yeah, this is sort of continuing this whole like wave thing, because this is obviously supposed to be a wave, and then I did a little bit more of the wave there, and then this is supposed to be almost like ripples on a beach sort of thing. You know how when the water comes up the beach, it leaves like a ripple, like a shape of the wave as it goes away. I did actually have it. I had it yellow at one point with like the bits kind of browner, but it didn't work all that well. I actually found it kind of was a bit too much. I'm going to remember to press record because I forget to press record sometimes. Yeah, so there's that. I did a little screen. I think there's a few other little bits and pieces I've changed. Then obviously the bit that you kind of spotted already, which is up this way, was this little kind of path thing. So we had this path up here before, and now we've got. Yeah, I quite like this little fence. I mean, it needs some detailing along here still, but we've got this kind of upper section now. Which needs a bit more detailing. Hello. What's going on there? You are literally standing on a path, you moron. How are you in the floor? Oh, there we go. Now you're all right. It might have just been because I just started. So yeah, we've got this little top section now. So these guys can now look over the back there, which is kind of cool, and I'm quite liking this now. And then we've got the little steps up the back, so I just added those steps in and detailed it and put a little fence in and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this now so far. Anyway, made this little sign. We might actually do. I can't really decide what we're going to do yet today. We might do some sign stuff. We might start. Hey Lisa. He wants to be a floor lover. I know, it's weird, right? He was in the floor. We're getting a bit over enthusiastic there, my friend. What are you? Oh, he's taking a selfie. He's taking a selfie. How cool. Yeah, I need to do something about that. Do I need to do something about that, or do I just ignore that that's all there? I think I'm just going to ignore all that. I think I'm just going to ignore it all. So we might do some. I think we'll probably start off the stream with just some like little bits of detailing, foliage work and stuff. I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, the thing that was new in the video. So if you haven't seen the video yet, guys, the video out on Friday. So I did this little dock section. What is that emote? Ritz. What is that? I can work out what it was. It looks like it's got. Is it like cat's hands on it, Chrissy? Ritz mitts. I've seen that one before. What is it? Is it like little cat paws? I don't understand. And then a little dancer. Little person dancing in there. Looks like a onesie. 2020 pajamas. Yeah, nice. Quality. Yeah, so I did this little dock section. Don't think we'd done this before. I think maybe we did this little overhang, but I don't think I'd done any of the buildings. I might be wrong. I might be remembering that wrong. So this is all working out pretty well now. Little floats and things. What else have we done different? Oh, I made this little console thing as well. So this is supposed to be, actually, while I remember, I need to remember to put a camera down on the bottom. So this little console thing is for, and there's like a switch. So there's a little screen, a little light, and a little switch, and I don't know what these buttons are, and then some little storage thing. And this is for the person to control the gate. So I actually need to remember to put a camera down there. I'll just shove a camera in so that I remember. So I think the idea is that what my brain is telling me is that they check the camera to make sure there's no seals like in the gate, and then they press the button to open the gate or lower the gate, etc. Looks amazing. Thank you very much. Cheers. Yeah, I have to say I've been having a lot of fun. I'm actually just gonna kind of shove this in just for now, so I remember, because otherwise I'll forget. I'll leave it there, and then we'll do that later. Nighttime is also still looking really nice. So I did quite a lot more. I think I did quite a lot more lighting actually after the last stream. Let's get rid of that for a sec. So this little top path section is all looking quite nice in the light. I have to say, I absolutely love the educators. They add something really significant to it, I think. So she's got a little yeah, you don't generally see that, Wes, to be honest. You don't really see that. Most zoos don't put lights inside the habitat. Yeah, even me doing kind of this around the tops here. But yeah, most zoos don't put lights inside the habitats. The lights are on the outside, so the guests are all lit up. Actually, there's some quite nice. I had some quite nice shots earlier. One thing that always kind of, I always feel like it kind of grates on me a little bit is they don't spend that much time under the water. Like, unless you're pulling them down. Yeah, maybe it's about that. I think it is a conservation based thing. So they all should now come flying out for this. So a couple of things we can work on today definitely are, we'll do a little bit of detailing at the start, just some more stuff on that top path. And then I do want to work a bit on the backstage area, because I think that's about due. Let's turn the desktop sounds on. Music and stuff all right, guys? My voice and all that sort of thing, levels all right? Let me know if it's not. Hey Rem, how you doing? Still not 100% on this little shack thing, but I did do some work on it. I think it looks better. Good, thanks, Inzi. And we made these little kind of float things as well. Baubles. I was thinking about an idea as well. I don't know if it's doable. Hey Nadine, hey Crazy Mum, how you doing? But you do see some places. I took a. I'm trying to think of the name of the. I'm trying to think of. Oh, hello, blind seal. I'm trying to think of the name. What is up with you? Evolution. Evolution's taking place. Da, 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 da. Be free. You are no longer. Oh no, you're screwed. You've lost all your powers. For a moment there. Which one was that? Which one was it? Who was that? Oh, this is a new one. We've got a couple of new ones in, guys. That are as yet unnamed. Yardley. Wando. Maybe we should name that one Supergirl or something. Was that a lady? Oh, we've got one that's injured. Oh, I don't think I've got a vet, so she came in injured, I think. We'll temporarily stick a vet down. Stephen. Okay. Yeah, Stephen's a good flyer. Oh, let's get rid of that. I'll make the little sign off of that. That was Emberlin, wasn't it? That one. Stephen. We'll spell it like you've written it as well. Stephen. Rachita. Okay. What's Rachita? Oh, did I not? Hang on. I'm confused. Did I not just rename that one? Oh, we had two Yardleys. So Rachita. Excellent names. There we go. They spend a lot more time in this section of the pool and not as much time over here. I'm hoping I can kind of change that somehow. Don't really know how to change it. Yeah, the thing I was saying about is I think it was, I can't remember the name of the inspiration, one of the inspiration pictures I chose. There was a thing with like a, I don't know if I've got it. Hold on, let me see if I can find it a second. I'll show you guys what I'm chatting about. One sec. Right, yeah. I can't remember if I showed you this picture, but this was the original inspiration picture. One sec. I know it's not on screen yet. I'm just loading it up. Come on Photoshop. I don't think Photoshop likes opening at the same time that Planet Zoo's opened, but hey ho. Anytime you want to open. There we go. Okay, so this was the original inspiration photograph, which is like a concept drawing. BRB got to watch the new Sims 4 pack trailer. Oh, and never to be disappointed. Well, do let us know what it is, because I haven't ever played it, but I'm always kind of interested. So you see, this has got like a canopy over it. So this was the original thing that I was like, maybe it can be. This was the thing that inspired it. You see the beach and you see the seals up on the rocks and stuff. Is there another one that's got? Hold on, let's just have a look in the folder again. Let's just have a little look. See, there was another picture I had. That was like a picture you could see seals jumping up out of the water. This was a real zoo. Maybe it's in this second set. No, I don't think I can find it. But yeah, so it was a picture of like a one of these kind of float things hanging over the top of the water surface, and the seals. Yeah, it was an enrichment thing. Basically, they jump up out of the water and knock the thing with their noses. I don't know if I could really do that here, but it would be kind of cool. I don't think I've really got the space to do that. I mean, I guess it could be over here somewhere. But anyway, yeah, we'll carry on. We'll do a little bit of detail in this just to kind of get me in the... I always find I have to kind of get myself in the groove a little bit. So we'll do some like bit of foliage work and stuff down here. But I really need to work on. I need to start working on the perimeter wall, and I need to work on the backstage, at least the kind of footprint of the backstage building. So let's get some of this going. That was what she was doing. Who are you talking about? Who are you chatting about? I love this. I absolutely love this grass. Just everywhere. I cannot get enough of this. This elephant grass everywhere. The flying one? Oh right, yeah. She was on her way somewhere, wasn't she? Just for a moment. What are you doing after this project? I think I'm going to make this into a zoo, Rem, to be honest. I feel like it's going to end up being... It was originally planned just to be a one-off habitat. But yeah, I put it fairly far away from the entrance. I like this biome anyway. So this might be the start of a new zoo. I haven't done any terraforming though, that's the problem. So I'd have to do some terraforming around this. But I don't really want to get stuck down into that too much. I want to just be able to play and not obsess. Oh, I started doing this thing as well. I was looking to see if you could create like an implied, like this was just a prototype and I don't think it would be round. If you could create an implied water thing without any water, whether that would convincingly look like it's got water in it because he's got the bubbles. I don't know. So I made it that colour. I don't know. I think maybe it works. I don't know if I'd do it round. I think I'd probably have to do it as a... I think I'd probably have to do it as a square thing. But yeah, I've got loads of things to do. I mean, I've got loads of different ideas. What are that? Are you trapped? I keep getting this at the moment. They just randomly get themselves trapped on a path and then they untrap themselves. I don't really understand why. I don't really understand why. Yeah, I need to get back to the... I know that Mrs. T is working on the... community zoo, but I need to get back to that as well because my building is still very much not done. My entranceway. Sims 4 paranormal. Oh, why paranormal? As usual for Sims 4, they've reused a lot of previous existing stuff and money grabbed for something that should have been included already in the already released pack. I think a lot of people that have played Sims 4 have been saying that for a while, haven't they? That they just keep kind of not really adding. It's always been. I mean, it's classic EA. Why can't I resize your screen? It's always been a bit of a thing that they just kind of rinse everybody. I'm pretty sure. I vaguely remember the last DLC that came out, which just wasn't all that much. And they've made some really weird decisions. Didn't they do wasn't there like a Star Wars pack or something random? It was like, what? How's that got anything to do with Sims? That must have been second in the vote after Knitting one. Knitting pack. I've boycotted the last 3 releases and I'm a Sims collector. It's so expensive as well. I have looked at it a few times because I do actually really enjoy it. I do actually watch quite a lot of Sims 4 content. I really love the stop motion stuff. That was why I originally did some stop motion work in this and House Flipper, because I watch those quite regularly. But I don't know. I mean, I definitely will be playing Paralives when it comes out. I think I sort of made the decision whether I would actually start playing? Would I start playing it, or would I just kind of wait for Paralives to come out and then play that? Star Wars should have been a standalone. It was basically an advert for Disney World. Exactly. That was like, what's this got to do? The trouble is, I think the thing is, that it's a bit like all of these sorts of games, isn't it? That they have a thing. Like the only thing, like I've never really been into the Tamagotchi part of Sims games. It's a bit like, I mean, it's a sort of similar to this. Like I don't really care that much about the guests. I quite like the animals, but they're just a facility for making, like for building, basically, for me. What do we want up here? And I guess the thing that always appealed to me about Sims was the building mechanics of it, and stuff like that, the creative gameplay. This is supposed to be an underwater thing, isn't it? Yeah. So let's say temperate. I guess we could go with bamboo here, maybe. As a kind of a backdrop. That maybe works. Knitting was pathetic. So what is this? What's the thing about knitting? This is not actually a thing, is it? Don't tell me there was a DLC, Sims knitting DLC. I think they killed the whole craft original concept that people were hyped for. Oh, I see, that it was like a craft DLC. I used to actually play Sims 3 a lot, but in Sims 4 I've just been a builder because gameplay is so boring. I haven't played Sims, realistically I haven't played Sims in a long time. But I always just found the gameplay pretty tedious, and I just wanted to get into the building bit of it as soon as I could. Sims 4 was bad from the start. Small worlds with limited plots to build. Previous versions you could place your own lots. Yeah, I heard that. I've seen that from a few people. People have said that Sims 4 was worse. That in some things they went backwards. Which never really makes a lot of sense, does it? You're always going to be hiding to nothing if you do that to your community. So it was actually a DLC. It was supposed to be a craft DLC, and it ended up being just about knitting. I mean, that's really weird, isn't it? Where's your cohesion? Where's your cohesion between that and the Star Wars DLC? Like, what are you doing? I don't understand your strategy. I think that's probably a bit annoying, poking in your back while you're sitting in that seat, but it looks nice. Just knitting, nothing else. So the Sims would learn to knit, and then they would just knit, and then just be like, it's just knitting. I mean, this isn't fun in real life, is it? Knitting. It's weird. It's weird decisions. Maybe it was a reaction to the Star Wars thing that they went like, okay, well, screw you then. If you don't want Disney franchise, we'll give you knitting. Wish placing plants in house people would be so nice. I know. This is the thing. I mean, this game, I know you don't play it, Nadine, but just the freedom just to do whatever you want in this. Like the fact that there's no grid, I can place that exactly where I want it to place. It's so cool, and you just get the results. You're so free to do anything. It takes a lot of time, obviously. Quite like this little upper section. It was community voted, but they kept shirking the original concept. So the community decided they wanted knitting, or the community decided they wanted something else. and the community decided they wanted craft, like a craft thing. I can see that. I guess I can see that. So the Sims would like make their own chisel. I don't know. Wesley says you should make a podcast, and he can't chat right now. Okay. Okay. I'm not making a podcast. What would I talk about on the streams? What would I talk about on the streams if I wasn't talking crap all the rest of the time? If I had a podcast, I'd have nothing less to say. I don't think I want a podcast. That's like, I don't know. For me, it's a bit like, I don't know. I mean, there's enough of a thing, questionable levels of ego for anyone that's streaming, but if you're a podcast as well, you're like, I'm actually like so fascinating that I want my own podcast. This platform is not big enough. I need my own one. That I'm literally just chat crap about anything. The thing is, if you do a podcast, you're talking about like real stuff, aren't you? You're real, like, just joined in about a podcast. Are you doing a podcast? Sorry for doing a podcast, Mrs. T. I've just crapped all over that idea. I was just saying it's a terrible idea. I mean, I'm massively being judgmental there, but you all know I'm joking. I love a podcast, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of a podcast. I was listening to the Louis Theroux Grounded podcast like just before the stream. Not long before the stream, actually a couple of hours before the stream. And they're so good to like have on in the background while you're doing stuff. But no. Anyone that says they're doing a podcast, anyone that's like a game streamer who starts doing a podcast, I just think, oh God, I don't know, questionable levels of self-importance. Judgmental. I'm so judgmental. Just flexing about how interesting he is. Shut it, Chrissy. I was saying the complete opposite. You know it. Shut your face hole. You know you're trying to you're just... I see what you're doing. Heck no, I struggle enough with basic English. Thing is, if you're like... Oh, I'll probably shut up on this in a minute because I'll get myself in trouble with someone that I don't realise. In fact, actually, I'm saying this. There are some people that are really good at it. So there's a couple of guys in the Planet Zoo community, Beyond Drew and Estan, who I'm big fans of. They have a podcast, but it's a podcast about, well, it's not your, if you're more than one person, it's also a podcast about the game and about games. So that's a bit better than just like, I don't know, voicing your opinions on stuff. I wonder if we just kind of do this. Shut up! I'm digging myself. I can feel myself digging myself into a hole, deeper and deeper into a hole. So I should just shut my pie hole now. So this is all going to be mulch. Mulch. Listen to the Planet Zoo one with John T and Market Bandit, Mars Bandit, and Crow. That was quite good. Saying if you want to start on YouTube, just do tutorials about the past because how bad Frontier have made the path system. Yeah, those guys. The thing is, it's not the format that makes that. It's the people. Yeah, I don't know. It's for me. I think I'd have to get past the thing that would just be like, is this not me just thinking I'm really important? Like I think for those guys it works. They're actually they're good at it. Although it's Estan and Drew's podcast, and they had guests on it. Drew said to me about being on it, and I was just like, I don't know what I'd chat. I just would chat shit the whole time. I don't know if I've got that much to say about computer games. I mean, I'd probably be on it if they asked me. I'd be on it, I guess. Although I'd have to say I'm, I think you got to have like a level of. Is this all going to get a bit shady if I do this? You got to have a level of passion that I don't know if I have with it, to be honest. That I'm a bit like, computer games are computer games. I don't know if I really care that much about it. I could talk about things that are. I'd much rather talk about life things, but that's not really what. My platform isn't that, and then that would just feel a bit preachy. Anyway, I have no intention of having a podcast. Do it. Do it. Do it now. Do. I think the thing is, and this is not anything to do against those guys though. I think I'm naturally always quite positive, and I think sometimes I think that would be the thing. I wouldn't want to get into a moaning session, and they can turn into a bit of a moaning session because it is a bit like. I'm not doing myself any favours by saying this, and I hope if either of them watch this, they wouldn't think I was being insulting, because I'm not. I'm big fans of them both, but it's just not in my nature to be that complaining. I'm pretty. I don't know. If some ways I'm probably a bit too passive, but I'm missing a little bit there. Talk about games on a podcast. Yeah, I can write witty one-liners all day long, but ask me to talk for any extended periods of time and I develop a brain stutter. Well, you get past that. I mean, I don't think I'd have a problem. Yeah, I've never really had a problem. I've never really had a problem talking, particularly. As long as you're talking about something you want to talk about. But I've done my fair share of presentations and things, and obviously doing this, you kind of get used to just. I do have to say, the big thing that you get past when you're streaming, which is kind of an odd concept, but I almost forget that you guys aren't here in the room. It sounds really weird. I know you guys are all real out there, but it's like a weird little thing initially. Because there's no other time when you'd ever be doing this, right? If you're talking to someone on the phone, you're both talking, or if you're texting or you're WhatsApping or whatever. But when you're just talking and people are replying like by text, like it takes a bit of time to get your head around. But once you do, it doesn't feel any different to me. I don't feel like any different if I was actually just talking and you guys were all talking back. I almost think maybe I've got voices for you all in my head. I'm trying to think now whose voice I know. So I know Mrs. T-Rex, I know Wesley's voice, and the rest of them I just make up voices for. Oh, and obviously I know Lindsay's voice. Don't think I've heard Lisa's. Oh, and I know Nadine's. Everybody else's I just fill in a blank, and it's a bit like. Before you... Oh, and I know yours, Emma. Yes, sorry. Didn't actually realise you were there. Hello. When you see a DJ for the first time. DJ sounds like a really old-fashioned thing, but you don't have their face in your head. You just have their voice, or you've made a face for them. It's the opposite way around. for most of you guys, I've got a voice, I think, that I've put. It's not that I'm shy, although I'm introverted. It's more like I can't find words. I'm just not used to talking about out loud. I think being bilingual is part of a curse too, because when I try to talk purely in English or Spanish, it's a real struggle. Yeah, that's a really weird... That makes sense. That totally makes sense. I can't imagine... I mean, I'm a heathen English person, so I only have English as my only language. So I've never really understood that. Because it's like, so if you're bilingual, what language do you hear in? What language do you think in? Is it in... is it not a language when you think? Because I hear of... Yeah, I think some people have words, don't they? But it's very rare. But most people hear a voice when they talk, when they think. You, Mrs. T, Christian, or Dean, if I see text from any of you, I hear your voices when I read it. I definitely hear your voice, Lindsay. You think in Swedish. Do you translate to both languages? Yeah, that's odd. I cannot get my head around that because I've never been fluent in another language. I feel you. I'm only German, living in a Dutch-speaking country, being in a relation with someone I only talk English to. Some days I speak Dutch at work. In break, I call with my mum in German, and then I text my mother in English. Oh, goodness me. I think in Spanish, and then I translate it to English. So it's an extra step. So do you think there's ever a point? Do you think there's... This is all a bit off topic, but it's interesting. Do you think there's ever a point when you think in a non-language? And if that's ever possible, or do you think it can just blend into different languages? Why are you not changing to a null barrier? How is that anywhere near the water? There we go. Both, that's the problem. The people I usually talk to are completely fluent in English and Spanish too. You end up choosing a language as default for every word. So when you have to say in English something you usually say in Spanish, you brain fart. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. And that would be, I can't imagine if I was natively not an English speaker. I can imagine how much more difficult being a streaming or doing anything would be. This is all feeling a bit dark. I think it's because I've got the sun up there. I was trying to suss something out earlier, whether if you place your zoo in the northern or southern hemisphere, does it reposition the sun? Don't think so, because I'm thinking of dirt. Because if I'm thinking of dirt, I talk of mulch. I was wondering where you were going there, Rem. I thought you were about to give us a... If I'm what I'm thinking of is absolute filth, then it's always in my native language. Because if I'm thinking of dirt, I think of mulch, soil, bark, etc., which are all English words. Well, that would make sense, because some things... Yeah. Some things are not... don't really matter what language you're saying them in, I guess. So we terraform all this up. Come up with alternatives words, but they come naturally in either English or Spanish. It takes a second to find the alternative to default. that makes sense. Although I actually would say there's an argument to say that sometimes having that extra, because this is the thing I definitely learned. I used to say, I mean, you don't worry about it too much anymore, but I remember I used to really like say stuff off the top of my head without any... I think this is something you do, and maybe you do when you're younger anyway, but just like never really think about what I'm saying anyway. And then I started to do a thing. I started to notice. I can't remember if I've told you this before, but so like work-wise, I used to notice that sometimes being the quieter one had more impact over if you're in a meeting or something, being quiet or taking an extra minute to think about what you're saying makes a big difference. And then I think everything I started then just taking the extra beat. This is a topic of great interest from you all, which is really nice. I'm having to move over to that monitor because the text on that screen gets a bit small. The funny thing is, I'm so much more used to speaking English and Dutch that I sometimes have to think about how to say things in German. When I talk to my mum and I speak German daily, see, that's weird. So you've reprogrammed yourself. I already start to have trouble because I don't use it much. My brother uses Dutch as a second language and he's speaking Dutch. It's pitted with the odd English word. Yeah, I think most people do that, don't they? Most people that speak a different language will always have different things that they switch backwards and forwards from anyway. Because they're like, that word isn't as good or something, or doesn't exist as in the other language. It's cool though, isn't it? I would absolutely love to have learned another language. I was so terrible at it. It's one of those things. I don't even know if I want to be terraforming this, but I think I'm terraforming it. It's definitely one of those things that's easier when you're younger. That's why being really bilingual is like Lisa. You just talk and you don't realise you're actually switching languages. So when you have to talk in just one language for the benefit of the person you're talking to, it's harder because you have to think about sticking to the right language. Well, that was sort of my original point. So in that case, are you not thinking in a language? Is it just doesn't matter then, does it? It's just words. I might use some of this as well. I kind of want to make it look like it's propped. I know it's not too late to learn, but it's a lot harder. I did try and learn Spanish a couple of years ago. Can't really remember why. I think I was just kind of wanted to learn something, but I really kind of struggled to kind of push myself to do it. I learned my third language when I was 5, so it was kind of a curse because I was too young to differentiate between the different languages, so now it's a jumble. Well, but is that not what they say is like the best way to have it? Is that you just don't, because that's what they say for people that have got bilingual parents. Although I do think I've heard different things about this. If people that have got bilingual parents have a slower development in one language because they're doing it in both languages, so you'll learn to speak English and your native language and your second language slower because your two parents are talking it. Do you know what I mean? If you've got one person just constantly talking the same language at you, it will be easier to do. Interesting stuff though. I've got a bit of why have I got a bit of rock back here? A bit of wall. I think I could do it. Like I could do it if I moved somewhere. You'd pick it up. I'd pick it up pretty. Yeah, I'm sure I'd pick it up pretty quickly. That's gonna look rubbish if I do that. I think it depends on what language you're using before thinking. It's not always easy to switch. Yeah, what I was getting at was I was wondering if maybe there was a point at which you don't have you can't even really tell in your head whether it's English or not. Yeah, or sorry, not English, or is your first language or not. It doesn't matter because you understand it in both ways. That's a bit weird, isn't it? That I've got the grey ones there, and then the stone one, the sandy ones here. So we'll have to transition it back. Yeah, it's just words. Like you might say bin versus trash can. When you talk to an American, you might have to think for a second to find the term they understand. Yeah, absolutely. People do that naturally anyway, don't they? To an extent. To an extent, everybody reflects. You pick you choose the things that kind of mirror or complement the situation that you're in. I think that's starting to help. My parents did half a day fully Spanish and the other half fully English. Wow, that is crazy. So when you were a kid, that you'd be like your mum and dad every other conversation, or they'd get up to a point after lunch everything was in a different language. I mean, that's pretty cool. That does the job. What language do you dream in? I missed that question, but I was thinking that. That was kind of where I was going with it, Lisa. Because you only, yeah, that was kind of my point. It was that you don't really. It doesn't matter, does it? Because your brain knows. Your brain knows what you're talking about in your dream. Your brain's just filling in the blanks. So if you're thinking, it doesn't matter what language you're thinking in. Which one? So I guess what you're saying is because there's an extra step. So actually the thought is probably in a languageless thing. This is all very philosophical, but I'm loving it. It's all in a languageless thing, and then actually the step after that, that's like what language do I need to turn this into for it to come out? Dream in 3 languages. Some parts are German, some are Dutch, and most of them are English. Wowzers. Dream like I naturally talk in both. My brain fills in the people with their correct language, but I dream speak in both and think in both. When I read books, I usually don't reflect on if it's Swedish or English, and I don't remember which one of them it was after. That's so cool. That is so cool. I wonder if I should put some light on that. I could actually put some light in the thing. Oh, I've realised I've gone grey down this end as well. So let's bring that back a bit as well. Yeah, but I think the thing is, Wes, I absolutely love those sorts of conversations, but thinking that there's a difference between thinking that I have got a right. I think that would be the thing for me, and this is definitely just me stuff, but it's thinking that I would have the right to be able just to go, yeah, now I get to talk about this. It's like, well, what, based on what? Like, I like the way that someone like Joe Rogan does it, for example, because he doesn't have a problem with him being, he's just a goon in the room basically, and he just has people talk at him. Let's go bamboo. It's also a very different thing. It's also just a very different thing. Biggest problem I have is that I speak in Danish, but sometimes I think of English, and when I have to talk to someone, I have a problem getting words said in Danish. Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. That makes sense. As I said, I really don't have any clue how you guys do it, to be honest. I mean, I guess it is just like once you've learned something, you've learned it. You're not consciously. Once you're absolutely fluent in riding bike, you don't think about it. You just do it. Yeah, there's so many things all the time that you're unconsciously doing that you haven't really have to thought about. Like I'm not. So my fingers naturally just sit on W, A, and D. I don't think about the keys once I've got those keys in my head. The hotkeys that I'm fluent in, I just those are locked in. It's very cool though. It is very cool. Well, time. I'm only speaking English. I don't know any other languages. No, me neither, Wes. Me neither. But absolutely, I would love to. I would. I mean, because I'm lazy. I'm not that lazy, but I'd love to have the Matrix powers where the guy just like, now you're a helicopter pilot. Just have that thing. What do you want to learn today? Because I'd definitely up for having new knowledge. I like new knowledge, but the process of getting it, not so much. Should this all be kind of rubbly? I think maybe it should be. Oh. Insta knowledge would be epic. So what would everybody take as their first bit of insta knowledge? I don't think I'd worry about like, now I'm a ninja. That'd be pretty cool though. It'd be like, what do you want to learn? Kung Fu. Learn how to drive. Yeah. Can you not drive, Lisa? I can't drive. I don't think we've had this conversation before. But that isn't a... I mean, that's... Yeah, I guess. I'm assuming you mean drive a normal car, not like drive a... No, nerves got the better of me. Oh, that's rough. Self-defense and particle physics. That's a good one. That's pretty cool. I quite like particle physics, actually, yeah. Love all that sort of stuff. Love to learn everything about astronomy, astrophysics, and quantum physics in a heartbeat. I know enough, but not... So I have... So what I generally have is a thing that's like... Most of my abilities in most things are pretty paper thin. So I have a thing. I always had this thing at school that I was always like... I was never like an A-star student in anything. I was probably more one of those annoying people that's like B, pretty much just B, and across everything. Maybe some C's. B's and C's. I was always like, I could always hold my own. I was always a bit of a jack of all trades. And my older brother used to hate it. Because he always thought, he was always just like, oh, you're just good at everything. Because I was quite sporty, and then I was all right at like maths and English and all that sort of stuff. Used to hate it, but I was always like, but it's not. I'm not excellent at anything, so I don't have a natural. I never had like a natural path to go on. Whereas some people just kind of like, you're a doctor. Yeah, you're a doctor because you're really good at chemistry or whatever, or biology. You have that thing. So what I have is like, I'm reasonably knowledgeable enough in a lot of things to be able to hold a conversation in like basic level layman's terms. But anything that's like any kind of complexity, I got nothing to it. I want to say one of the reasons I talk to others who speak English is to learn the language. Well, that's quite common though, Crazy Mum. That's like super common, especially in like gaming stuff. And there's a few people that I used to play with. I don't play so much with them anymore. Who, if I hadn't played with them for a while, or we hadn't played as a group together, and they just played with their, which I think that guy was Danish as well. He'd really lose his English. He'd really struggle to speak English. But if we played together kind of solidly on a game, we got in, when we got back into a habit of playing together, his English would get way better. I think that's really normal. And it's like, yeah, it makes sense. The more you surround yourself with another language, especially if you surround yourself in a language, because I always think the thing is, I will catch up with the chat in a second once I've stopped preaching or whatever I'm doing, diatribing. If you try and learn it out of a book or go into classes, you'll always just you'll lose the nuance. I mean, my girlfriend's got a Duolingo thing. Some of the stuff that it gets her to learn, it's like, when are you ever going to say that to anyone in conversation? How's that ever going to come up? Whereas if you're talking to someone or you're playing a game or you're in this sort of format, you're going to hear the things, the way that people actually speak in that language, especially in English. You're going to hear, well, not just in English, I'm saying that because I'm English, because I'm an ignorant fool. You're going to hear all the little nuances and stuff that make it actually natural to the language. I'm going back now. Do you need to know how to drive in London? Don't you just take the subway? It didn't used to be a thing. Certainly, that was the reason why I never learned, because I grew up in London. I never had to. I always just got the train or the tube everywhere. And then my thing was when I was actually about to learn, I can't remember if I've said this, but I was randomly taking a job in Australia. I had found out about this job and was moving to Australia in the space of 4 weeks. And it just happened to be when my driving test was about to happen as well. So I'd packed up my flat and was about to move to Australia. And the week before that was my driving test, and everything was just so chaos that I was like, I'm never going to pass, and I failed it. I'm lost now. Hold on. That sounds amazing. I'd love to do. Yeah, space would be cool. I'd love to have that. I'd love to write sci-fi, but I don't know enough. I was an A student at all subjects. Then I discovered boys and dropped to C's. Brilliant. On another game server, I used to play with a guy from Iran. In the beginning, he used auto-translate a lot for his messages. After a while, I saw an immense improvement, and about 2 months ago, he spoke to us the first time in voice chat. It improved. That's so cool, isn't it? Yeah, what was the restaurant thing, Wes? I didn't get that either. So if you really want to learn a language, you need to immerse yourself. Well, that's it, exactly. Oh, Subway is a restaurant, I see. Yeah, Subway. We don't actually... You say Subway in Scotland, Gemma? Or did you just say that for the benefit of the Americans in the chat? Because we would say the Tube or the Underground. It's probably just coming out of the rock there, isn't it? Do 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 do. I don't like Subway. Slightly changing the subject, but I don't like Subway. There's too many choices. I don't want to have to be asked a million questions when I want a sandwich. I just want a sandwich. I don't know what bread combination goes with this thing that I've chosen. I'm not the expert. You're supposed to be the expert on sandwiches because you work in Subway. Make me a sandwich. Can I just have it with cheese? Just cheese and tomato, please. I don't know what bread. I don't know if I want ranch dressing on that. I don't even know what ranch dressing is. Have you got salad cream? We don't have an underground. I didn't think you did. I didn't think there was a. I wasn't sure. There's a tram though, isn't there? Is a tram in Edinburgh? What, Glasgow? I can't remember. Do you want it toasted? Exactly. I don't know. Do you want seeds on it? I don't know. Just make me a sandwich. I don't like. Do you know what I mean though? Like I'm going to get lunch. I just want a sandwich. If it's preferably. I don't know. You're the expert in making sandwiches because you work in Subway. I don't know. Put the things together to make it nice. Can I have a nice sandwich? Do you want it toasted? It's just a. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's some things you know if you want it toasted, but the subs are mushy. Don't know any other word for it. They are just mushy. I prefer a crunchier version, like a baguette, topped with nice stuff. Those absolutely hates choices. Is it just me then? Is it just me on that? That's just like, I don't know. Right, let's do some more lights under there. We'll do a little bit of lighting. In fact, we might go from there. I think some of that is the product of London life though, because everything, especially if you work in, I guess it's anything in a big city, if you work in London, everything is so busy and everything is so like stuff everywhere, and getting out to have some lunch is like, it's supposed to be a bit of a break. It's supposed to be a bit of a break. And if I'm having to stand in, I'm probably have to stand in a queue for an hour. This is a right old good old rant session now. Say I've stood in a queue for an hour. I just make me a damn sandwich. I don't want to have a conversation about it. I think the other thing is sometimes because of what I do for work, although not very much work at the moment, but I think I've said this before. I'm a product manager in software and development, and what that typically means is that I'm the person that knows how something works. So, like a developer's building a new website or a new app or something, I've designed that, and so what that means is that you're pretty much the knowledge holder of stuff. So you might have like a team of people all day going, can you just tell me, can you just remind me how this, and so when I get to the sandwich shop I'm done with questions, just take responsibility for the damn sandwich. Anyway, there we go. Right, that will be done over there. Held a message. Oh, hold on. Oh, you're right. Maybe the word pedo. I don't know if we're allowed the word pedo in the chat. Oh, well, Lisa just went, yeah, no problem. Come on through. Oh dear. It's fine. We'll let that one pass because it's Chrissy. Maybe try and avoid the word pedo in future, just in case I get demonetized. I don't even know if that's a thing in Twitch, but probably it is. Shitty I'm alright with. Pedo shitty. I don't know if you can see what... Well, you can't see it, Chrissy, but it's... I've now said pedo about 1 million times, so we're probably already past that point. But yeah, night. It says Lisa used added permitted term pedo shitty. So I think you've actually allowed pedo shitty into my accepted phrases. Oh dear. It wasn't just the first pass. Whenever that is used now, it's fine. How funny. I'm not even. I wasn't. To be honest, I lost track of even what you were saying. I think Subway kind of died after the whole. Oh, you were talking. You were just telling the news. You were just telling the news. That's all. That's fine. I think that's all right. We're just speaking the truth. It's fine. Eating a juicy nectarine in winter. I'm in heaven. Nice change of subject, Nadine. I just spend a good 15 minutes trying to find the TV remote my son decided to hide. I get in trouble about that all the time. My girlfriend's always like, where's the remote control? I don't know why she thinks I've got some conspiracy to hide the remote control. Is that too green? I think maybe that's all too green there, isn't it? Hey Chunky, how you doing? I think maybe that's all too green. It's losing its C-ness, isn't it? I think maybe those lights need to go blue or bluer. Now we've got to try and find the damn things. Might just undo them. Try that again. Do 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 do. I think maybe a bluey green would be better. So a little trick in game for how you turn down lights. But it's not super obvious, but the darker the colour, so that's basically like the light off if you have it black. So if you choose a colour and then you want it to be just a little bit less bright, you just make it down into the black a bit more. I kind of just want it just to be little highlights and not super crazy. The truth is bad sometimes. Was that fit? I don't even, well, let's move on from this topic. I think I don't even know if that was actually true. That is that getting a bit. I can't work out if I'm just. This is getting a bit too much here. Oh, I did these ones as well. My too much gene. There's no too much meter when I'm doing these games. I should have moved on to the next habitat. We should already be on the next habitat, but it's not going to happen. There's never enough detail to be put in. I just wish the seals would spend more time over there. So what does it look like from our new spot? Yeah, it looks alright. They look like they were stuck there for a minute. See that? Hey, Steph! Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, we're working on this. Working on this grey seal habitat that we've been working on for quite some time. I think that barrier, that sort of border wall does actually work alright though. Let's go back to deer. Deer time. Right, so I think it is about time that I start doing some stuff back here. Because this is all needs to be like reduced down massively. All this needs work. Front of house I'm pretty happy with now. Still need a bits and pieces down here. I can't remember if I showed you this little section. Oh, I did show you the little. Yeah, I showed you that, didn't I? I changed that sign as well. There's a little sign there that I made a bit smaller. I'll tell you what I was going to do. I was going to do some stuff. No, let's do some actual building. Let's not do manure detailing. I don't think I'm using this little rando thing anymore, so I'll stuff it over there. So I need to get a building texture. So let's try that. Let's decide on what kind of texture we're making this building out of. Oh, thank you, Crazy Mum. That was very nice of you. Thank you, Crazy Mum. You've got so Steffu is now a subscriber. That was pretty cool. Thanks, Crazy Mum. That's nice. Oh, look at that emote. Look at that squiddy. That is awesome. That's so cool. Let's have a little look-see at what we want to do. So I think it's going to be like a concrete-y thing. I do like the little, I have to say, I do like the little one subscriber, first month subscriber icon. Am I really small today? Am I hiding? I moved my camera yesterday. I feel like I've changed my camera position. That I'm a little squat on the screen. Get some slouching. How is the weather in Old Blighty? It's been pretty crap, to be honest. No snow though. Well, no snow in the south. I know there's been snow. I think Lindsay was saying she just got rid of the snow the other day. But no, down in the south there's been nothing. Just wet. Just constantly wet. But have we not gone past the... I think we've now gone past the equinox, haven't we? So like every day is lighter. Every day is a little bit closer to the sun. Please bring back the sunshine. Someone commented on one of the videos, of the video from Friday, saying you're obviously craving the sun, or I'm loving this the sunny vibe or something. Yeah, I was like, yeah, definitely. I think maybe I'm missing the sunshine. 50 centimetres of snow today. Wowzers. Where are you in the world, Steph? I'm going to say it like that because I quite enjoy saying it like that. And if you tell me it's not like that, I'll be disappointed. Steph. Dollar store version? Oh, right. Yeah. It's my little morph. I don't know when I'm going to get more emotes. I don't really know when that happens. Shall we do custom building? Shall we make this a custom building? Custom build pieces? Or should we not bother because it's backstage? Let's just play around with some textures. Yeah, what do you do to unlock them, Mrs. T? Is it just more subscribers and more followers and stuff? It's pretty. It seems pretty hardcore. That you get like none. You get one for each tier. Right, you can stop there because you'd be useful to us, little friend. Oh, it's because he's inside the habitat. Right, we'll bring the building to you then. We'll bring the building to you. I want you as my size reference. I've been playing around with my blueprints as well. Blueprint and load of things that I had from other zoos. What is his name? His name is Tejadcam. It's an unusual name. He's from Bongo Land. Is there mod support in PZ? Not really. Not officially. You get workshop, So you can put stuff on the workshop. So you'll see that all of these. So if I click this tab, Nadine, for example, blueprints only. This is all stuff that people have created from the workshop. So like someone's already made that. So that's not technically a mod, but it is the same as. It's the same as like House Flipper. Although no, actually no, it's not the same as House Flipper. So I could make something. You know, I could make this set of chairs a workshop asset that someone could download. There are some mods. That I have to say they're actually a little bit janky. There's some really cool ones. There was one I was looking at the other day that is really cool, but as soon as I tried to use it, my game wouldn't load. So I was like, that's what I'm worried about. I'm actually Steve, but Germans sometimes can't spell it. It was actually Steff the other day, so Steff it is. Centre of Germany, right, gotcha. Well, welcome to the stream. I don't know. We'll play around with some textures and see if we can just kind of create something that's interesting, and then we'll use that as our building blocks for the wall. Oh. Yeah, I was looking at a mod that changes the pictures that come up on the TV screens. Basically allows you to add custom pictures to the game, but you have to replace something in the game. So I could change the picture that was up on that to anything I wanted it to be, but I'd then not be able to put that picture in. So I'm trying to make I need to make a backstage building. So the seals need to have somewhere that they go at night, that they're locked in, and that there's like a pool, like pools and stuff in here. So all I'm doing at the moment is just playing around with some textures that I might want to build a building out of. So I'll just kind of go merge that lot together and then use that as a building piece. But I haven't got there yet. I'm just kind of playing around with it. But yeah, it will eventually be the kind of backstage area. I'm kind of tempted to not use the building pieces as well. Because then I can be off grid. I mean, that's all right. Pretty unexciting. What about like? What about? How do these work as like brick? I think these probably work more like shingles. So I could do something like that. Trouble is you always get to the end and then you've got a problem because they're never quite the right size. I was doing the tea, roast pork with crackling stuffing, roast tats, Savoy cabbage and carrots. What? How? What? Why is that not my dinner tonight? And you're not even, it's not even a... Oh, that's going to be way too big anyway, isn't it? It's not even a Sunday. That sounds like an epic Sunday roast. Question: are there mods to make lights work indoors? You don't need a mod for that. You need, so if you put a light down, so if we put a light in, if you see when you click on the light, you've got an automatic option, means that it turns on only at night, but if you press that one, it will turn on in the day. It will be on all the time. So if you want lights on inside a house, if that's what you mean, yeah, you set it to always on basically. It's actually quite handy to do that in places that are a little bit dark as well. So if you've got sort of shady corners, like I've actually done it on this sign, you can just kind of see that I've put a light on that permanently under the ground. I think it's in that rock. But yeah, that's how you do it. I didn't actually ask the all-important dinner question. She volunteered it. And now I'm very, very jealous. What was the veggies again? Roast tatties, Savoy cabbage and carrots. Very nice. Oh, I love a bit of pork with crackling as well. I don't know about that. I don't think I want to use the custom. Maybe I do. Maybe I want it to be custom. That's a bit weird. It's always easier if you've got like a reference picture, but I don't have one, so I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna make it up. That looks a bit crap, to be honest. I mean, it is a backstage building, so maybe that's all right. It doesn't need to have all the kind of jazziness of a front stage, you know, guest facing thing. Okay, right, so there's the gate. So technically we could actually just have the entrance into the habitat be into a building. So we might actually do that. And I don't need to have the gate. Let's just think about this a second. Do GIFs work in Twitch? In what sense? I don't think you can put a GIF in the chat if that's what you mean. It would just see it as a link, and then Nightbot would say no links. Okay, let's get rid of this path a sec. Oh, I picked up this barrel the other day. If you haven't seen this is way better than the barrel that I made. This is by Just Goron, so off of the workshop. So let's added it over here. I don't know how many pieces it was. 212. It's not too bad. Okay, right. So we could have the barrier. I think we'll have the key. Well, we could actually have the barrier. Maybe we should have a walkway across the top of this. That might be quite fun. Let's just have a look at that a second. Yeah, you can make. Yeah, you can make. You can pretty much make anything in the game, dudes, because you get the smaller the pieces. Like these are the smallest pieces now. So, like this sign over here. I mean, it's pretty simple, but it's made out of like a million of those little blue pieces, flat. It's a dot off a letter. So you can really make kind of anything in this game. It's so cool. And we might try actually having maybe a walkway, like a bridge across there. There's going to be a pumping station here for water. I need to have some pipes coming out somewhere in there. I need to fix that thing as well. Can that just go back in there? Yeah, it can. Has that left a hole? Kind of. Yeah, you're totally just limited by your, the only limitation in this game really. Paths are a limitation, although more and more people just not bothering to put guests in, which I've started thinking about sometimes. Just checked, get more emotes depending on subs. Yeah, but I don't know what the number is because it seems quite harsh. It seems like it must be quite a big number. Metal. What am I looking for? I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm looking for that. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. Gift everyone a sub. What, in order to get emotes? You're welcome to gift as many subs as you like, Wes. But obviously it costs money, so yeah, not everybody's going to do that, and not everybody needs to. Not everyone can afford it, and not everyone needs to do it. But yeah, it does seem a bit. It seems a bit weird. Okay, so we could have like that. Can I change? I can't change the colour on that though. That's my only issue. That's my only problem. Oh, it's not going to move well, is it? I just want to make sure. Well, that's the. It's very nice. I mean, it's very, very generous for anyone who ever gifts a sub, to be honest. So no one should feel. The thing is, I don't know how many subs it is you need in order to get more emotes. So yeah, it might be that I've got to get twice as many subscribers as I've got. So I do. Yeah, I've got some ready. That's weird as well when that happens. Like some people go in and out having like Wes is going in and out of having the sub badge. Right, see you in a bit, Chrissy. I don't really understand when that happens. So there's that as an option. I'm pretty sure the keeper would walk over that. I guess we'll have to. How can we test to see if he'll walk over it? Looks like the seals will swim under it, no problem. Yeah, I don't. Oh, Lindsay. Lindsay, you didn't have to do that. That's very lovely of you. That's very lovely of you, Lindsay. Thank you so much. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but thank you very much. You're very kind. Some of those people I don't even recognise, but one of them, to be honest, is the only I don't recognise. You're a little legend. Thank you very much, Lindsay. It's very sweet. Oh, she did it because she wanted to do it, whereas she didn't do it because of you saying anything. I mean, I'll have to have a check. I don't know if I can check now. I'll have to have a check after the stream. But I have looked before and never seen it anywhere. Because I would assume that it would come up. Hopefully it did, but we shall have to see. As I said, I've got them ready, so and I don't really know what it means. Whether that's a new, I guess it's a new slot, so I'd actually get one. Hopefully, it would mean I get one for each tier as well. Maybe it doesn't. Hello, Seal. So can you? I guess you probably can't traverse that. No. He's coming round to have a look though. You can make it. Blah, 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 blah. Angus. Angus. Look at all the Z fighting here. Let's disappear. What are you doing, Angus? I need to see what he's doing. Are you about to do a death-defying? No, he's having second thoughts now. Look, he's like, "I'm so brave. Look, Mum, I'm so brave. I can make it." No, actually, I don't think I can. Oh, he just come over here for a dump. That's all he's doing. Cash me outside. Who are we calling that then? I don't know if we've got one. I don't know if we've got a spare one that we can call. That might be too long. Olive is we can't because that's one of Wes's dog, isn't it? Have we got anyone that's? I'm losing track of everyone's names now. We can always get another one. Have we got too many in here? What's going on? Hungry. Iveta. Some of these we haven't named. Am I gonna? Can I cut and paste that from the chat? I guess I can. Is that first name and surname as well? Oh dear. Where are you? You're not crazy. It does fit. Lindsay, catch me outside. How about that? Oh dear. How funny. Right, how are we going to test to see if the keeper will get across this, guys? Because you can't pick him up inside the habitat. I guess I could put a, maybe if I put an ice thing here. Cheers, Lindsay. Yeah, still be about another hour, I think. I think we've got about another hour. I think I'm doing these until 6:30. I think he'll come and do this. He should clear it up anyway, so you probably need to move, Angus, so that we can box this in. Otherwise, go over there. I would quite like to spend more time at the front of the house and less time at the back. Put food and see if it will fill it up. Yeah, the trouble is with the food containers, they just fill it up from anywhere. They don't have to be, they often don't have to actually go to it to fill it up. You got issues? No. Sometimes they just seem to enter the habitat and then do a little animation and it fills up the food things. But this should work. Because it will have to come. He'll have to come and clear that once it goes mouldy or whatever. I think he should be able to get across that. We might have to make it wider. Oh, is Wes going as well? I didn't notice that. Got to go. See you, Wes. Take it easy, bud. So we just do this for a minute. Just stop adding stuff to that group because it's getting a bit out of hand down there. And let's speed it up. So once that goes manky, this is you again, Angus. I wonder if they're like thinking they can get to the water this way. Are you not too bright, Angus? Oh, it's Vanessa this time. Who's Vanessa? Did we name Vanessa? I don't remember. Okay, so it's still there. Once it goes manky, he should come in and get it. Well, that's gonna. I don't want to do that because it's gonna refresh it. Because that would be kind of cool. I could have the gate. I could have the habitat gate like down here somewhere. Because this is going to be. There's going to be like a little pumping station here. Okay, right. So it's open. Or it's manky. I hate the fact that they do that. I also probably need to put the keeper hut inside the building, inside the habitat somewhere. Well, inside the, not obviously inside the habitat. Why are they all going up there? This isn't going to work, is it? Because I haven't got the path attached anymore. There we go. Just think that would be kind of cool in the background that you can see someone walking along the top of that. And the moon dance back there. Okay, right, our boy's inside. Is he coming over? He's coming over. Okay, cool, perfect. Right, so that's fine. I will actually just put another one back there though, just so that I can test it again. Get rid of that one. So he won't refill it because they don't actually want it. But let's see if we can go with something like railing or something. Oh, the new aquatic fence actually might work quite well. This one. God, there's a lot of glare off that, isn't there? I wonder if I can make that into like a floor. Not really. Maybe the other way round. It's going to be weird, isn't it? I don't think that's going to work. And I don't think the keeper would walk over that. Let's just see. It's not actually too bad when it's down at that level. Let's just have a look. Push it in a bit more. I'm pretty sure he won't walk over that, but we shall see. Because then we could actually kind of just go make a proper. It's a shame they're kind of high. those barriers are kind of high. The other option would be to make something totally out of the metal beam sections. The little metal beams could work as well. Why did that not rotate properly? Okay, it's now mouldy, and he's not coming. So I think that looks more interesting, doesn't it, than what I had there before. I reckon we could probably get him to do this, because if he doesn't cross that, he will cross it if I put a glass floor underneath it. Let's actually make it straight as well, because it's a bit jank. So far he's not coming, but I think this is going to be doable. We shall have to see. Let's try. I need something at the end of it, just to end it, like one of these. Oh, he's going. Awesome. No need for the glass. Sweet. Thanks, Mrs. T. So my options are, I could actually make this a building. This could be the edge of a little building, so that I can kind of hide that. The fact that it kind of ends in a weird way. Maybe I'll do that. But that's pretty cool. I like that. So this can actually be where we see him walking across. Looks cool from this side as well. That'll be how they enter the habitat. So the gate will be down here somewhere. Move this big ass tree out of the way. Oh, several big ass trees. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful bit of terraforming. Interesting. Is it me or is it feel? Oh, it's because I'm going really fast. I was like, why does everything feel really laggy? It's because I'm going really fast. Yeah, I think this will be interesting. So this can be the pumping station. Just come into the habitat. This little bit here is hiding away. Come into the habitat, into the pumping station. I was thinking about this the other day, right? So you know the fact that the keepers can go, if you're inside a habitat, the keepers can go anywhere they like. So they don't have to walk on a path at all. So why can't you make, if you make the whole thing a habitat, I guess if you're inside an, yeah. If I was to make the whole zoo surrounded in one habitat, then technically whenever the keeper is not, then the keeper is always inside a habitat, aren't they? And therefore they can walk anywhere. If that makes sense, without having to worry about a path. I don't think that can work. I'm probably not making any sense there, but so there's no, because inside a habitat there's no need for a path, a staff path. So if you make the whole zoo one great big habitat, You can have a habitat inside a habitat. Yeah. I could put a habitat barrier around this whole thing and make it a new habitat. I made when I yeah. Right? Let's just check. Pretty sure you can. I feel like I've done this before. So there's one. Oh, it's putting the habitat. Oh, no, that is right. There, that's another habitat. Habitat 6, habitat 5. So if I put an animal. Yeah, that's what I was about to try. I feel like I've tried this before. I feel like I have put habitats inside habitats before. Okay, so let's go. I think I've randomly got like an aardvark somewhere in the animal trading. I've got other things as well. So let's put one in. Let's see what happens. It didn't say unable to get there. Why have we got Davina Attenborough in the trade centre as well? I don't know if you're following my logic, Mrs. T. So I'm saying, I don't. We'll have to see. We'll see what the keep. We'll see what the guy does. He's going to run it. I think it's going to work. I think he's just going to put. I think he's going to put them both in. Well, she's going to put them both in. Where are you? We actually need to get a vet, don't we? Because we've got So if you blueprint that, you'll have an issue. So if I blueprinted the outside boundary, I'd lose the inside boundary. Are they not putting them in there? Let's just, I just want to do that. I needed to get a vet anyway, so I'm just going to shove a vet in quickly. Oh, hello, didn't mean to do that. I wonder if maybe I've no, the trade centre's there. That's the grey seal going back. So there's one going in. That's the one that's supposed to be in there. What was the other one? The aardvark. It does say relocating to habitat 6. Quite sure I haven't seen someone doing it yet. Maybe it doesn't work. What if I move the otter? It's weird though, because it does say it's relocating. Where is it? Let's see if we can actually find it. Still in the trade centre, custom seizure. Click on the small one. It says ready. That's what makes me think it's fine, because it says ready. I reckon we could probably move him in there. Delivery scheduled. Let's see. Why are you bringing him out to throw him on the floor, you Wally? Maybe this is the issue then. Maybe it won't let you actually put animals in there. Yeah, I was sure that you can do this because I have done this before. I did this with the dome. I put a blueprint, I put a barrier all the way around the outside of the dome. But you just lose all the barriers inside. It doesn't look like it works though, does it? It's so crowded because I've put in extra animals in and now they're like... It's getting really laggy as well. Oh, yeah, I don't think it doesn't look like it works, does it? Something's escaped by the looks of it as well. See, animals. These guys have escaped. How have you escaped, Dotter? He's off. Oh, that, yeah, it obviously doesn't. Oh, well, look at all my people over at the... No wonder I've got no staff members. They're all at the gate, waiting to leave. I know, no social distancing. I wonder where all the staff had gone. Stuck over at the gate there. Interesting though. It was worth a try. I don't really remember what my thought was, but I still think it would. I still think that doesn't mean, because we don't actually need... Oh no, we do want animals. We do want animals in the middle of a habitat. I thought you could do that. It's sort of weird that it lets you put it down. It says it's ready, but it doesn't actually work. That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to just move it, but it won't let me do it. Oh, it's a keeper. Is that guy coming to do it? No, it doesn't work. He's putting it back outside the habitat every time. I think Mrs. T's sniffing out a tutorial that isn't there, unfortunately. Mrs. T's readying the YouTube shorts as we speak, but unfortunately it doesn't work. Let's just make sure there's nothing really odd about that for some reason. It feels like it should work because it feels like it is kind of half working. It feels like it's kind of half working because it's letting you actually put the habitat, but then for some reason it won't let me put. It won't actually move him in there. Can we get them both in there at the same time? Hang on though, right. I've just had another thought. You can do this, but you can't do it in the way that it wants you to do it. So, let's use our imaginations for a minute. Technically, let's think. Let's imagine this is a whole zoo, right? What's to stop me? Because a keeper can walk over. Can the keeper walk over the elephant grass? I think the keeper can walk over the elephant grass. And an animal can't. Let's just test this out because I might be onto something interesting. I'm probably not. I tried to make one on low barriers, but don't think it's anything new. Just a teeny fence. Yeah, the tiny fence thing is it's kind of useful, but you can do it with the the grass as well. Yeah, but guests will walk inside. The guests will walk inside a habitat. You just have to have a way for them to get into it, right? Or you just have... you have null barriers. I did this in, so I don't know if you remember Serenity, Mrs. T. So the Serenity thing, the big main concourse area was all a peacock habitat, and the guests walked in and out of it no problem. The only times they flee. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works, right? As I said, use your imagination. This is two separate things. Well, this is, use your imagination that this is a whole zoo. Yeah, guests will only walk on a path. True, but you can have a path inside. I don't know if that was maybe someone sharing. Oh no, it looks like it's a bot. You can have paths inside a habitat. There's no problem with that, because they do that. Yeah, if you've got a walk-in habitat, everybody walks into the habitat and walks around on a path, don't they? Although actually, do they even need to walk on a path? I think they do have to walk on a path in a walk-in habitat. Where's my guy? Where's my guy? Where's my guy? Yeah, the only times they run is if they're in an area. If they're in an area and the animal is dangerous and it can get to them. If the traversable area of the guest overlaps the traversable area of the animal. Okay, that's not working at the moment. I can't remember. I can't remember if the keepers can walk over the elephant grass. This is all utterly pointless if the keepers can't walk over the elephant grass. Let's just do this a minute. What I'm trying to get to is it technically thinking there's two separate habitats here. I mean, you can do it with the traversable area, because I did it in the dome. Right, so they can't get to each other now. Oh, you sod. These are bad choice of animals, clearly, because he can jump like a little ninja. Let's use a different animal. Let's use a penguin, just as an example. What we're trying to do is have a zoo with an outside habitat and little habitats with the guests walking on free grass and not. I don't think you could do it with the guests, no. I don't think that's possible. But you can have keepers go anywhere, was what I was trying to work out if you could do. Let's just put the caiman in there. And they'd all basically be in one habitat. They'd all just be in one whole great big zoo habitat, separated by. So you'd never need staff paths anywhere, because they would just walk to wherever they need to go. Right, so they now can't get to each other. And what happens if I put a feeder? Like a safari, so lions on one side and zebras on the other. Exactly. Yeah, but no fence. Well, you can do that, and you can kind of do that anyway, because you can do that with the. So they do that in zoos where they've got a. I can't remember what it's called. Is it called a ha-ha? I think it's called a ha-ha, where from the perspective of the person, it looks like it's just a. It just looks like they're in the same area, but you have a land thing that's like technically like a dip, and so from the perspective of the person, it looks like it's not, they're separate. Yeah, so look, he's got no problem traversing that, and if I actually moved it down a bit, if I did this properly, like I did over there, they wouldn't be doing that bumping up either. Interesting. It's totally randomly off topic for what we're doing here, but it's quite interesting thought. I want to just see. I'm going to stay with this thought for a minute. Just, I wonder what happens if you put in. So if you put in a null barrier. Let's put in a null barrier a second. Hang on, actually. I'm still wondering what happens with it. I don't think I've ever done. I don't think I have actually ever done a habitat that's got a walk-in thing in it. Let me do this for a minute. I'm not going to worry about the fact that that's all sticking up. I know that this works, that you can get this to work. So he's now only in that section. This guy has put in that section. Right, and we know the keepers can get in and out. So if I take this barrier, make that barrier null. And in fact, let's make that null as well. And then I bring the path in. So this will be fine, won't it? It's not even considering that to be a walk-in. It's just going to let them walk in there. It's just this is all going to work. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to make it into an actual. I'd have to do something with it for it to actually be. But it is quite an interesting thought. It does feel like you could do something with this. That you could potentially make a whole zoo. Where there's not really any. There's only really ever one habitat. The keepers go wherever they like. They don't need to be on a path at all. It does kind of make you wonder why they haven't done that. So they're not going to freak because they're not inside the traversable area of the Cayman. Anyway, right. maybe it becomes a thing one day. Right now it's not. We're supposed to be doing this. I might have a quick loo break, guys. Actually, probably will. Right, I'm back in a few minutes. Is that actually on still? It is on. Right, so sorry about that. I'm back. Right, we lost topic there completely. I lost track of things. I got myself in a little rabbit hole. I wasn't experimenting with drugs. Just say no. Right, so we're going to move the barrier. Going to move the barrier down here, I think. What are you guys doing down here? Oh, what have you? How have you got yourselves down there? It's not even a path there. You're not supposed to be there. You're backstage. So actually, I could even make the arena part of the habitat if I wanted to. I mean, it doesn't really matter anyway. Right, Nadine, have a good one. Don't forget we're streaming on Thursday. Streaming on that on Thursday. Excuse me. Right. Yeah, the reason why I was sort of saying that, why that whole thought started, random, this is how random my brain works, was that I looked at this bit of terrain and was like, oh, I don't want to have to make a path up that. It's a pain. In that world where I've got this thing working, you never have to worry about that because the keepers can get everywhere. So I would just have it that there's a gap in the fence here and they would just walk up there and make sure that the seals can't get across that bridge anyway, so that would be the answer to that problem. But we're not in there. We're not in that world. We're doing other things. Right, this is gonna screw everybody over. I'm pretty sure when the game first came out, you didn't used to be able to have more than one person inside the habitat at the same time. I thought that wasn't a thing. Why are you all fleeing? It's because I've taken the barrier out, so now they're not. I've taken the gate out, so none of them are sure where the seals are now. I think they all think the seals live outside. Egypts. Look at this wonderful experience I've got here. Why is it doing that? What a load of nonsense. Yeah, I don't think I'll bother. I think I'll just make this part of the gate here. Yeah, so weird. I think it's something to do with the terrain when you shape the terrain. Like it does that sometimes. It's kind of annoying though. Why is that? Is that not even... What's going on? What's going on? Look at the state of this barrier. It's not going to let me change that to null. All of that to null, is it? Because of the water. And I don't think I can take the water out because I've got the path over the top. I definitely can't. That's okay. This one? Can this one be null? Yeah. So actually we should just bring... Let's just bring all that back to like that level. As I said, I want my little pumping station, but this doesn't have to be... If this is not inside the habitat, that has to be there. Trying to add a new one. There we go. Yeah. Do. So let's move that over. I'm trying to get it so it's they come through the gate and then they immediately go up a set of stairs. So that might do it. It's going to be underground, isn't it? I think it does that because because the barrier is underground. The post of the barrier is underground there. See that the barrier goes down into the ground there. It's not flat on the surface because I've got this that option set, I think. I really love the null barrier thing, but sometimes it's really hard to tell where you've got barriers when you're using nulls. I feel like sometimes I end up with really messy habitat boundaries because I can't work out where I've put a null barrier. We're already kind of doing that now. So that's well and truly under the ground there. Add another node. No. What's going on? So it comes off of that. Let's just do it in normal first. So that currently isn't attached to anything, is it? Oh. Is that linking? It doesn't look like it. There. Okay, right. So that can actually be block. I've just popped back what I took out a minute ago. Yeah, see what I mean? So if I attach the gate to this piece now, it would put half the gate under the ground because of the fact that that post is buried under the ground. And I think it's doing that because I don't really know why it's doing that. It's doing that because it's an Egypt. So can I just do this? No, actually I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Put a nice flat piece down here. Attach my gate to it. No. Why? Barrier. Okay, that's the one way around though. Oh, why? Why is it not working? So it's that way. It'll go that way round. That doesn't make any sense at all. This is so annoying. Why are you doing that? So it will go that way. It will go that way. Put the gate in first. Then the barrier. That's the same. It's not letting me place it there. And it snaps to the I mean, I don't understand what it's even giving me there. I'm saying gate. There we go. I don't want it up there though, game. I want it down here. That's the wrong way round. Okay, alright, let's put a piece of path in then. I wonder if it was because I had the path set to 6 there. I need to put all this back to 4 meter paths again as well. So annoying. This will probably work. I want it down there. I don't want it up there. It's not giving me... I'm not doing that. It's snapping up there. And that's as close as I can get it. I really don't understand. It doesn't need to be a metal one either. It could be wooden. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is because of the slope, but it doesn't seem like it should be. What is the part in the middle it's snapping to? I just took that out. I mean, it's okay. I can have it that it's flat here and then it steps up in there. There's not really a biggie. Let's get this tree out of the way as well. Don't need that there at the moment. This will probably work. I think it is. I think you're right, Lisa. It was it's deforming the terrain. It doesn't like having to deform the terrain. So the thing is, I can probably put this in and then reshape all that terrain again in order to put it back to where I wanted it. Is that even attached? Oh yeah, I haven't finished that. A rage button. That was exactly the moment for a rage button. I don't even remember where I left it. I don't think this does anything. Oh, it has got the cue card now, but no sound, right? Was there any sound? It's still not finished. I need to make that a... I was going to make that a command as well, so that you guys can just... exclamation mark. Yeah, I need to do the sound. Someone can type... One of the moderators can type exclamation mark rage, and it'll come up with that. But it's not done yet. I forgot about that, actually. Right, I actually want a wooden... I want a wooden one. A wooden one. Now I can't get the damn thing to unsnap. Oh my days. Oh my days. What, I mean, what's that? That's not a gate. Game. There we go. Finally. When you do that, tell me how. Which one do you mean? The channel points thing? Or the command thing? Channel points is harder to do than the command thing. Command thing is actually pretty easy to do, but yeah, I can tell you how to do it once I get it working. All of that just to get a barrier in. Right, now we've got to take all this damn path out again and put it back to being a 3 meter path. This is not even really a path that I ever really intended to have. I need all of these guests out of the zoo. I don't feel like this has been this last hour has been particularly productive. Oh, we don't have a barrier anymore. Right, so I think this will be alright just for me to make this null, because as long as I block that little section there, the seals won't be able to escape. You snapping? Where are you snapping to? Is that going to be complete? Yeah, okay. The command thing, okay. Okay, right, so that will be this will be the entrance to my pumping station. I need to take all of this out and put it back to being a 3 meter path, because otherwise they're going to walk underneath that. Yeah. So we need this. Oh, I made it even a 2 metre path by the looks of it. The joys. Let's give that a swerve because it's going to be a problem. Slopey? I guess I'll make it slopey. Now I saw Rudy do something the other day which I want to try. I've never tried this before. To say when he did it, I don't know if it quite worked how he wanted it to work, but I kind of got the point of what he was trying to do. So you're trying to make a slope. So you do a little bit of a step and then you do a slope like that. I don't know if this is gonna... This feels like this is gonna be more steep though. It doesn't seem like it makes any sense to me. And then you run that over. And then you go back and you delete the bit of path. Brain's starting to rot. You delete the bit of path. How is this? Why have I got the terrain tool all of a sudden? I think the game is having a freak out. There we go. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Weird. Yeah, it doesn't do what he was trying to do. I don't see how that's any better than just doing a normal slope. Oh well. Do. Interesting. What is up with you, game? Hey Axel, hey there, dude. How's it going? Thanks for the invite to your new Discord, Dealey. Like the path tool, that's not even sarcastic. It's my favourite thing in the game. I know, right? What is that even doing? Like, what is that even doing? What is going on? It's like a bonding thing. Everyone who plays Planet Zoo loves to moan about the path tool because it is. What is it even doing? Why is it doing that? Is this because this is like an auto-formed piece of path? Right, that's fine. So it won't let me do that because I've got two ends of the path. So that should be fine. It's not going to join my barrier now, is it? Struggles, man. The struggles. No worries, dude. No worries. Yeah, I guess I just wish sometimes it just was. I just wish sometimes it was all easier. I mean, I don't really need any of this path to be here at all, so this is all pretty redundant. I don't need the guest to be able to get over there. It's only really here at the moment to get people from the spawner, which is not even going to be there anyway. So let's just smooth. So what are you playing at the moment, Axel? I haven't seen any of your I have to say I actually haven't seen you stream in a while. I don't know if that's just that I've been missing them. I certainly haven't seen any what was it? The automation one that you were playing. I want to say Factorio, but it wasn't that. It was the other one. Satisfactory? Satisfactory? I mean, you've been playing the Isle. I have seen you play the Isle. Okay, that'll do. I'm going overboard with this path anyway. Needed to step away from games and streaming for a bit, but it's still the Isle. Fair dues. Hope everything's well. I'm definitely losing my momentum here. I'll fix up this path, and then I think we'll probably have to end it there because I'm getting a little bit. I'm running out of steam. I shouldn't have let myself get off track. my massive diversion. This is the one thing that always annoys me when you like do all this stuff where you line all the stuff up against the path, and then you have to for some reason replace the path, and then everything is in a slightly different place. The joy is. Do 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 do. Okay, so busy with job search and studies, looking to immigrate to Canada. Oh, nice. That'd be epic, dude. Good luck with that. You'd have to let me know how that goes, because I'm quite interested in moving to Canada, to be honest. I'm quite up for that as well. I'm trying to persuade my girlfriend for a while. Yeah, so the one problem I've got with this is because I've done the narrow path, I don't want the guests to be able to get there. Can just do that. And then I need a Q node there. And that should, in theory, just link up. Yeah, it does. Just had my second interview 30 minutes ago. Oh, how exciting. Is it a big process though, dude? You have to go through a lot to get your visa and stuff. Very exciting though. That's very cool. Oh, shiza. Q. Do this little dog leg here. 4 interviews. Oh, as in for the job, not for a visa. Right, got ya. 4 interviews is pretty intense, isn't it? I guess if it's an immigration thing, though, there's a lot more involved. Also a process, but not too hectic. Nice. Well, as I said, good luck, dude. Very exciting. Yeah, it's always expensive, isn't it? I lived in Australia for a little while through work, and that was, yeah, it was quite a long process. It wasn't too bad, but I remember it being really expensive. This is frustrating because I'm trying to join 2 paths. Okay. That should work. Big changes though, eh? From South Africa. That'd be epic. Beautiful. I mean, we could just have it like that. We could just let that be a feature. I could probably just do that and then block it all in, but I don't think I can handle that. Let's go one more. The trouble is I need to be able to do a turn. This is so stupid. Oh, I can get rid of some of this path. Some of this terrain. I need to do a turn in order to put another path node, a Q node in there. And now if I do this longer, You've always known you've had enough on the stream when everything just starts to get a little bit like pulling teeth. And it's definitely got to that stage. Nothing to do with the fact that I'm streaming, just that my brain doesn't want to work anymore. See you, Mrs. T. Have a good evening. Why do you want to go there? Lots of reasons, to be honest. Partly because I just, well, especially after this year, I just wanted to be somewhere where it's like I love being and not have to travel to get that. Like, we spend a lot of our time driving to get to places that are like outdoorsy, and it's really good for me. Like, it's a really good thing for my, this is make me sound hippie, but a really good thing for my like mental health and stuff. And I think just general in mental health, but there's so little of that in the UK. Not mental health, but like natural beauty and outside spaces and stuff. The only other place that I would live probably in the UK would be where Lisa lives, down in Devon and Cornwall. But it's yeah, I think we've talked about New Zealand a few times, but I think New Zealand would be such a big lifestyle change, because if you live in New Zealand, if you're not living in Auckland, you're pretty much living a massively different type of life. I mean, I could still do this totally if this ever got to the point where I could actually like afford to do it indefinitely, then we would live anywhere. But yeah, we both still got to work, and the list of being able to, me working software in New Zealand in a nice like country place is unlikely. Canada seems like quite a good compromise, that's actually got big cities and places where we could live, but we wouldn't have to be that far from like nature and things. Long story short, basically. So yeah, I don't know. We talked about it a few times. I don't know if it'll actually happen, but it would be. It's definitely a bit of an ambition of mine. And the thing is that I don't know, whatever you not getting into politics and stuff, but I'm just like, I feel like I'm just tired of busy and stuff. I'm not a developer, Axel. I'm a product manager, so my job is, I'm more in like user experience. So my job is more like to describe how something will work. Describe how it will work. My job is to be the brain of the user, or the brain of the person using the thing. And so I'm not techie particularly. I'm reasonably techie enough to know when I'm getting sold a line from a developer. But no, my job is more about understanding people and how they behave and stuff, and how they would use something or interpret a control, or, and then that is, then you take that thing. I'm the bridge between, if you know, most people that, this is a generalization, but a lot of people that work in technology are a certain type of brain, and it's not necessarily the sort of brain that relates to people that are not techie. And so the job of someone like me is to be the person in the middle who can take the needs of the user and turn it into something that a developer can understand, and vice versa, basically. Let's just make sure this still works. So I want to be sure that the seals can't get across that. Keepers can get. Keepers should. I think the keepers should be able to get up that ramp there. Obviously, this will all get tidied up. This will all get turned into like the pumping station. I'm the guy that builds that thing, right? So that's the thing. So I'm someone who has to learn how to talk to you, and then someone who, is a little old lady who's got no idea how to turn a computer on. How do we bridge that gap? That's kind of my job. Okay, so he still gets across there. I really like that bridge. I think that's pretty cool. And let's make sure the seals can still get through the water by the looks of it. We haven't seen one do it in a while. Right, so I think that's going to be it, guys. What did we get to? 2 3/4 hours. Yeah, and it's 6:30, so it's definitely time I should be going. So yeah, that was all right. I was a bit sorry. I think I got a bit distracted with this thing, and then it was I went off on a bit of a tangent, but still think it's looking pretty good. Yeah, I think it's pretty good for that sort of stuff in Canada. What are these guys just doing? Like standing, idling? Oh, you're just waiting for something to do. You're waiting for the time. She's like, if only there were some guests. If only the park manager hadn't closed the zoo and actually I could do my job. Just standing here. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. I'll go back to Big Toes for a minute just to say fairly well. Yeah, so back tomorrow. House Hipper tomorrow on the Yub Jubs as usual, and then back with this on Thursday. And I'm hoping I can get an episode done for Friday. I'm trying to get back to the regular Planet Zoo Friday episodes. Thank you for the follows. Thank you massively, Lindsay, for the 5 craziness of the 5 subs. Very, very kind of you. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. All right, take it easy, peeps. Have a good evening or wherever time in the world you are, and I shall catch you guys on the next one. See ya. Oh, raid. Raid. Tove never remembers to press the raid button. And I'm back. Raid. Right, let's do it. I wonder if there's actually anyone that I'm following. Never anyone that I follow streams at the end of my stream. It's literally never anyone. It doesn't seem to matter how many people I add. Oh, I'm wrong. No, why is that? Why is Chris not showing up then? All right, we're going to go over to Zookeeper Chris then. That's so weird. He doesn't show up in my list. We'll go over to Zookeeper Chris. I'll see you over there in a second. He's really cool. I'm pretty sure we've raided him before, but we'll do that. Right, guys, take it easy. Catch you on the next one. 3, 2, 1. See ya.
Japanese honeybee. Oh, you know what? I did almost forget.